In the previous video, we have seen how to draw a line of a particular length and at a particular angle in the Sketcher interface. Moving forward with different shapes, this video will mainly focus on point command. So basically, point is an exact location that doesn't have any length, nor width, nor height. Sketcher interface from CATIA allows us to make the points with different methods as per the different conditions. So here is CatTiki introducing you to the point command in the Sketcher interface. Hello guys, we can see that we are right now in the part interface of CATIA. So if we need to go in Sketcher interface, just click on Start, Mechanical Design and Sketcher. So we need to select one of the planes. So I will select this XY plane. So now we are in the Sketcher interface. In this video we will mostly talk about this point command. So consider that if you want to make a point that is at the 100 mm from this vertical axis and which is at the 50 mm from this horizontal axis, so we will just select the point. So we want this point to be at 100 mm from this vertical axis. So here is the 100 mm and we want 50 mm from this horizontal axis. So this is the 50 mm from the horizontal axis. So this is the exact position of the point that we want. So this is basically how the grid lines help us to plot the point. We can plot this point without using these grid lines as well. We just need to select this constraint command. So first I will just delete this point. So if we want to plot the same point, I will select this point command and place it randomly. So I want this point to be at the distance of 100 mm from this vertical axis. So I will select this point in this vertical axis by pressing the control key, and then I will select this constraint command. So I want this to be 100 mm, so I will double click and here I will enter the distance of 100 mm. So we can see that this point is now at the distance of 100 mm. So this point I want to be at the distance of 50 mm. So I will select this point and this horizontal line, and again I will select this constraint command. So I want this distance to be 50 mm. So I will double click on it and I will enter this length as 50 mm. So this is the required point, which is at the distance of 100 mm from vertical axis and at the distance of 50 mm from the horizontal axis. One thing we need to understand is, if we select this point command, we can plot this point only one time. So if we want to plot another point, we again need to select this point command and then we can plot it. So selecting a point command every time you want to plot a point is not an effective method. So what we can do is, we can just double click on this point command and then we can plot the point as many times as we want. So this is a much effective way if you want to plot the multiple points at the same time. We can also plot the point whose coordinates are known to us. So basically, if we know the coordinates of any point, we can plot that point directly on this interface. So this can be done by selecting this command, that is point by using coordinates. So if we look at this point, this coordinates of this point will be 100, 50. So this is because its distance in the horizontal direction is 100 mm while the distance in vertical direction is 50 mm. So that is why the coordinates of this point will come out to be 100, 50. So consider that we want to plot a point whose coordinates are 70, 30. So according to that, the horizontal distance will come out to be 70 while the vertical distance will come out to be 30 mm. So first I will clear this. Okay, so now I will just select this point using coordinates command. So this will open this point definition dialog box. So this provides us two coordinate systems to work on, that is Cartesian coordinate system and this polar coordinate system. In Cartesian coordinate system, we are required to enter the horizontal distance and also the vertical distance. But in polar coordinate system, we are required to enter the radius and also the angle with respect to the horizontal axis. So I will just select this Cartesian coordinate system and I will enter the horizontal distance as 70 and the vertical distance as 30, and I will simply press the enter key. So this is our point whose coordinates are 70, 30. Both the lengths that we have entered, that is of horizontal component and the vertical component, are both positive, that is positive 70 and positive 30. So that is why this point has been plotted in the first quadrant. So if we want this point to be in the second quadrant, we need to make the necessary changes. So I will just select this command again, and then I will enter the horizontal component as minus 70, and then I will keep this vertical component as 30, and I will click on OK. So this point gets plotted in the second quadrant. So if I want this point in the third quadrant, I will select this command again, and I will keep both the horizontal as well as vertical components to be negative. So we can see that horizontal component is minus 70 and the vertical component is minus 30, and then I will click on this OK button, and now we can see that this point is being plotted in the third quadrant. So if we want this point to be in the fourth quadrant, I will again simply select this command, and I will only keep this vertical component to be negative, and I will change this horizontal component to be in positive. So and after that I will again click on OK. So this point we can see that it is plotted in fourth quadrant. So one thing that we can understand is, if we are using this command, that is point by using coordinates, then along with the distances in horizontal or vertical direction, we also need to consider if those distances are either positive or negative. So based on that, those points will be plotted in either first quadrant or second quadrant, third quadrant or fourth quadrant. So this is the only drawback of this method. So these points are being plotted with the help of this Cartesian coordinate system, but we can also plot it using polar coordinate system. So first I will clear this. So polar coordinate system basically is defined by r and theta. So r is the radial distance while theta is the angle with respect to the horizontal axis. So consider that if we want to plot a point which is at the 100 mm radial distance and which makes an angle of 30 degrees with respect to horizontal axis. So we will first select this command, and in polar coordinate system we will enter this radius as 100 mm and angle as 30 degrees. So this is the point that we require. So this point is at the radial distance of 100 mm and it makes an angle of 30 degrees with respect to this horizontal axis. So this is the main significance of the polar coordinate system, that this coordinate system plots the exact location of the point considering its distance from the origin and the angle that it makes with respect to this horizontal axis. So the angle that we have entered is 30 degrees, which is less than 90 degrees. So that is why this point is been plotted in this first quadrant. So if I want to plot this point in the second quadrant, we need to just select this command and enter radius as same 100 mm, and angle should lie between 90 degrees to 180 degrees. So I will enter this angle as 150 degrees. So this is the required point. So this point is actually making the angle of 150 degrees with this horizontal axis. So if we want to plot a point in third quadrant, then again we need to select this command, and in polar coordinate system I will change this angle to 210 degrees. That is, now the range should be between 180 degrees to 270 degrees. So we can see that this point has come out to be in the third quadrant. So similarly, if I want this point to be in fourth quadrant, I need to enter the angle that is varying from 270 degrees to 360 degrees. So I will again select this command, and in polar coordinate system I will enter it as 330 degrees, and I will click on OK. So we can see that this point is lying now in fourth quadrant. So we can see that in polar coordinate system, along with the radial distance, we also need to ensure that the angle that we have entered is correct, because based on this the point will be either in first, second, third or fourth quadrant. As this extra care needs to be taken while entering the angles, that's why we can say that this method, that is point by using coordinates, so this method has some drawbacks in itself. Consider that we are having a line, and if we want to plot the points on this line such that they are equidistant from each other, then we just need to select this command, that is equidistant points command, and the instruction appears here: select a line or a curve on which the points are to be created. So we will select this line, and we need to enter the number of points that we want. So I will enter 5 points, and I will just click on this OK button. So we can see that these 5 points are being plotted on this line. So distance between every 2 points is 33.33 mm. So now I will select this command again, and I will again select this line. So I will keep the same number of points, but this time I will choose this reverse direction. So we can see that these points will be plotted on this side. So when we are choosing the reverse direction option, so basically points get plotted on the opposite side of the line. So to have more clarity on this, I will make another line which is not horizontal, but this line will be somewhat inclined line, and I will select this command again, and I will choose this line. So I will plot 3 points, and now I will press OK. So we can see that these points that are plotted are equidistant from each other. So I will again choose this command, and I will select the same line, and keeping the number of points as same, I will just choose this reverse direction option. So we can see that these points are being plotted on the same line, but they are in the opposite direction. So consider this line as a number line, and the starting point will be its origin. So this line, this entire line becomes the positive direction of this line, while automatically this remaining section will become the negative direction of this line. So when we are selecting this command, that is equidistant points command, those points get plotted on this positive direction of this line, but when we are choosing the reverse direction option, those points get plotted on this negative direction of this line. So this is how this equidistant point command works. So there is also one command which allows us to plot the intersection point of the two lines. So basically, if we want to plot the intersection point of these two lines, so we just need to select this command, that this is the intersection point command. So I will select this. So we can see in the instructions column, select the set of the elements to be intersected with another element. So basically they want us to select those elements of which the intersection point is to be plotted. So I will select this first line and this second line. So we can see that the intersection point has been plotted. So this is a very helpful command. So we can see that these lines are not intersecting physically, but we can plot its intersection point. So there is another command which allows us to plot the projection of the points. So that command is this projection point command. For that I need to simply plot some points. I will plot these points randomly. So I also need some lines. Okay, so we will see how this projection point command works. So I will select this command, and in the instruction column we can see select the set of the elements to be projected on the other element. So I want this point to be projected on this line, so I will first select this point and then I will select this line. So we can see that this point has been projected on this line. So similarly I will select this point and this line, so we can see that this point has been projected on this line. So we can plot the projection of this remaining points as well. So we can plot the projection on this inclined line as well. So I will just select this command. Again I will select this point and the line on which this point is to be projected. So we can see that it doesn't matter whether the line is horizontal or vertical, the points can get projected on the inclined line as well. So this is basically how this projection point command actually works. So in this video we have seen different commands that help us to plot the points. In next video we will practice some exercises that are related to the points. So that's all for now. My name is Sanket and we will meet in the next video.